This is the CW6 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Dora Scheidel. Weeks after a local landmark was destroyed by severe weather in Oswego County, the Midway Drive-In is getting a hand picking up the pieces. This is footage from earlier this month, right after the storm hit in Minetto. You can see the extensive damage to the big projection screen at the Midway Drive-In Theater. The drive-in opened in 1948 and was sold to its current owner back in 1987. New at 10 tonight, Sarah Beth Ackerman tells us about a community that's coming together to help this local gem.
Just a few weeks ago, severe weather took out the movie screen and ticket counter at the Midway Drive-In in Minetto. But it wasn't long before neighbors stepped in to show their support for their local landmark.
Here you go, sir.
Volunteers set up shop the past few days to sell t-shirts and bracelets in hopes to raise enough money to rebuild.
It has been really crazy. Yesterday when we set up, we couldn't even decorate or do anything because we had cars lining up and everything, and it went really fast.
Feels amazing that so many people love the Midway Drive-In and they come out and donate money or buy t-shirts, buy bracelets, get food, and it feels good.
And someone else that's feeling good is the owner, John Nagelschmidt. He says he's just amazed by the outpouring support he's received.
Everybody wants to help, and I've been crying a little bit.
Out of all the people that have stopped by for t-shirts and bracelets, one particular little girl stuck out to the owner. While she was coming by to buy t-shirts, she also handed some glue over because she wanted to help by gluing the screen back together.
It's something that belongs to the community, and I'm just here taking care of it or trying to take care of it. And I don't want to let the community down. I'd like to see it come back, and with their help, I think it's going to.
While the drive-in is on an intermission right now, with a strong community behind it, they're hoping they'll be able to drive it back to life. Reporting in Minetto, I'm Sarah Ackerman.
State police are looking for information tonight regarding a hit-and-run accident that killed a man and injured his wife while they were jogging on the southern tier this morning. Police say Daniel and Karen Manwaring were jogging on West Whitcomb Hill Road in the town of Tioga just before 7 this morning when a Nissan Xterra SUV slammed into the couple, killing the 41-year-old man and sending his 43-year-old wife to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver ran away after hitting the couple. Police found the vehicle and a man they described as a person of interest, 33-year-old Jason Townsend of Nichols. Anyone who knows of his whereabouts is asked to call state police. Syracuse police are investigating an early morning shooting that the victim doesn't remember. Police say 39-year-old Markel Washington was shot just after 5 o'clock this morning. Police say he arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound to his left shin, but was intoxicated and didn't know when or where the shooting happened. Anyone with information is asked to call Syracuse police. Well, we had 3 days in a row of beautiful weather, but it just can't last forever. Meteorologist Mike Brookins has a first look at the forecast, and Mike, it sounds like we got some changes heading this way.
Yeah, the second half of this weekend, we will be dealing with some spotty precipitation, much of the time dry. And early next week, a big change from what we've been seeing lately. We're going to maybe see some heavier rain. Stanley Law Skywatch shows dry conditions with our Adirondack Furniture camera zoomed in on Interstate 81. Nice and quiet, at least there. We've got some showers, though, which we are tracking on live triple Doppler radar. They are scattered and mostly light, working off towards the east. Most of it now, well, east and, well, to the west of Syracuse. These are producing some moderate rain here in southern Wayne County, working off to the east-northeast. So they could come close to Syracuse in the next 1 to 2 hours. We've also got some showers to the east, which we'll go a little closer into, and you see around Rome down to just north of Utica, some light to moderate rain. 76 our temperature right now. It's 72 in Fulton, 70 in Watertown. As we go through the overnight, not a big temperature drop, near 70 at midnight with a low of 68 and patchy fog. However, we are going to watch a line of some scattered showers and thunderstorms coming in during the late night hours, especially 1 through 3 o'clock in the morning. Then things should quiet down by sunrise. Dora?
Thank you, Mike. We have an important alert tonight for neighbors living on the north shore of Oneida Lake in Oswego County. Plans for aerial spraying have been postponed this weekend due to the weather. 2 mosquito pools tested positive for the EEE virus in Central Square and the Toad Harbor Swamp area. The health department says the spraying will now happen sometime in the middle of next week. As more women and children continue to cross from Mexico into the U.S., property owners near the border are making some startling discoveries. Grace White shows us what one Texas rancher calls a rape tree and why it's a side of the border that often goes unreported.
The stick was here and there were tracks here.
Not much gets by Linda Vickers.
I turned around and saw groups of 9.
Her South Texas ranch is right in the middle of the border battle.
Over 3,000 apprehended in March in Brooks County.
Smugglers use routes through ranches like hers to get around Border Patrol's checkpoint. Vickers is always on alert.
Load. Tinkerbell. Load.
And her trusted guardians by her side. But one day her normal route became far from routine.
I noticed something black hanging in the trees. As I got closer, I realized it was a bra and what I thought were panties.
The underwear turned out to be a purse. Vickers took this picture and called law enforcement.
They felt it was a rape tree area. I've had comments on that picture that, well, that's very staged. Well, yes, it is. They're staging it for others to know this is my territory. They're staging it for the other women to know this is what can happen.
It's supposed to? Yeah.
For Reina Terrales, it's like reliving a nightmare.
No water, no bathroom.
She says 10 years ago, she was sexually assaulted near the border.
Las usan como si fueran una...
Terrales told us the men feel like the women owe them for bringing them to the U.S.
According to Border Patrol, the number of sexual assaults in the Rio Grande Valley is increasing. 2 years ago, there were just 8 reported. Last year, 40. And already this year, 27.
It's hard to say how many cases go unreported.
Border Patrol agents say asking about crime allegations is part of their intake process. But they know many women choose not to report. As for the rape tree,
there's a lot of debris out there left in the brush. It's hard to say that each one of those has actually been a case. Nevertheless, it does happen out there.
As time goes through with this, I feel less safe on my own property.
And it's her property she worked so hard to defend. What concerns her the most is if somebody actually did this.
They're capable of anything.
In San Antonio, Grace White reporting.
All week, we've been following the crisis along the border, and our coverage continues tomorrow. We're looking at success stories, people who came to the U.S. legally and became great successes in their communities. That's tomorrow night at 11 on NBC3. Syracuse's streets are a little more colorful tonight thanks to the Syracuse Arts and Crafts Festival in Columbus Circle. Festival goers were encouraged to color the sidewalk with chalk during the 24th annual Street Painting Festival. There was even a Master Series competition where contestants reproduced famous works of art on the street. Well, coming up on the news at 10, U.S. families adopting are stranded all over the world. Why they're being told they have to wait to bring their children home? Still ahead. And in Philly, 2 carjackers on the loose, accused of killing 3 children and leaving their mother fighting for her life. The latest on the manhunt, still ahead.